Whoa! What is up, everybody? Sorry, I hit the wrong button there as we started the show. Way to get started on the right way. Anyway, welcome everybody in tonight. We're gonna have a fun time tonight talking. Hope everyone is doing well. Happy Martin Luther King Day. My kids were home all day with my wife, so I'm sure she's probably about ready to pull her hair out after having them all day today. They're also home all day tomorrow here. And with the impending weather headed our way, they might be home Wednesday as well. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. As we're starting tonight's show, I always like to start the same way. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're listening from tonight, joining in. I always like to know where my visitors are watching from. And if you have a question about anything related to Myrtle Beach, moving to the area, the real estate market, any of that kind of stuff, drop a comment and we will answer it this evening. So we're here. We're already more than halfway through the first month of 2025. Is anyone else like me just like, where has this month gone? It feels like January has just kind of flown by. I mean, here we are in the second half of the month. I was working on some stuff today for my assistant for February already, and I'm like, what in the world am I doing already? Anyway, let a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know that you can hear me tonight. Hopefully people can. I see we've got about 8 to 10 people watching. And tonight's show, well, we're going to talk about one and only one big thing to kind of start things off. And if there's other things you would like to chat about, just drop a comment and we will definitely discuss it. While we're doing that, let me get some stuff here adjusted. Here we go. Wow, I got a really messy screen. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about the weather. I know this is not really a exciting subject, but we noticed this the other day as we were leaving church. See this big giant yellow thing right here? We don't see those here at the beach very often. We have on the way, headed this way, some winter weather. What they were actually doing, I have a video of it. Let's see if I can get this. Well, if we can get this a little. All right, let's pause this a second and make it bigger for y'all to see better. So as we were pulling out of church yesterday, we noticed these trucks. And you'll hear my family actually in the car talking like, Dad, what the heck is that? Let me rewind it. And you can see there's something kind of dripping out the back of it. I had never seen this before. What I found out is that this is what is called a salt brine. It's a mixture of salt, rock salt with water that's a higher concentration than just plain water or, salt water from the ocean. It's like 25% salt to water. And they put this down ahead of wintry weather to help melt any ice that might show up or snow faster on the roads. So these two trucks were running one right behind the other, just dripping a little bit of water out on the road. And so I've never seen such a thing before. But what it has done is it has now made all our roads. Let me see if I can get this video here to play for you. Oh, my wife sent this to me today. My son was actually recording, I think, in the front seat while she was driving. Go back to this. And let me rewind it here. And so now, if you look at our roads, they just have these streaks that run down them. Well, maybe it'll play. Doesn't want to play. I'll just kind of do it. But you can see these lines and streaks on the road. It's so weird because it's nothing we experience here in the Myrtle Beach area. But enough about weather. Let's talk about what's really important, what you guys want to know about moving to the area. And let's see. Oh, we got some people starting to comment in here. Good. Keep them coming, guys. Let's see what we've got. So Mark says, hi, Jeremy, going on vacation down there 6/6 to 6/13. So I'll try to see if we can get together and I can pick your brain on stuff around there. I'll book a phone call as we get closer. Perfect. Mark, you got it down exactly how it used to do. Jeff says, okay, that sludge stuff or brine, I guess that they call salt brine, is something they use up north. I've lived down here long enough now in the South that I never saw them do that. Growing up in PA, I only ever saw them actually take the little thing on the back of the truck and it would spin it out, and they would throw the salt or cinder onto the road for you to have traction. So those of you who are joining in tonight, you might be wondering, what the heck is our weather going to be like the next few days? And if you remember and you've seen my shows in the past, you've heard me talk about, there's one thing we never do here. We never listen to weather.com, the Weather Channel, or any of those places. Well, why is that? Well, pretty easy. Let me show you why. Let me pull up, go back to here. So here is a story, the front page of weather.com, the Weather Channel. What are they saying? Winter storm Enzo, a rare snow ice threat as far south as Gulf Coast. Yes. And things you need to know about it, and what could this do, and dangerously cold Arctic blast, and the south braces for winter storm, and why minus 40 is a magical number, and all this craziness about it. If you go and you look at the weather forecast, this is for here local in Myrtle Beach, and we look at the 10-day, you will see right here for Tuesday, it says partly cloudy early, then some snow showers later in the day, very cold, high of 38. Winds north 10 to 15 miles an hour. Chance of snow 40%. In the evening, periods of snow, low of 23. Winds north at 10 to 20. Chance of snow 100%. 1 to 3 inches of snow expected. Guys, the snowpocalypse is coming to South Carolina. It's about to hit here. Listen, as I said before, don't listen to these places. I also went over, and let me show you, I went over to WeatherBug, which is another big weather app people use a lot of the time. And if you go in here and we look, and here's the 10-day for our local area, they're saying a night, Tuesday night, 80% chance of snow. It's going to be horrible. Let's see, I don't think that's going to, there, it just shows ads. Anyway, snow, right? So what do? We go to my friend, Ed. And this is Ed Piotrowski. He's a local meteorologist here in the area. And here's what Ed says about what's going to happen. We have a winter storm watch through the area. And with that winter storm watch, we could expect anywhere from a dusting to up to 2 inches of snow. Okay. Now, for me, someone who comes from the north, here you can see some other stuff about what to expect from 6 p.m. Tuesday through 4 a.m. Wednesday. Here's the other thing I would say. If you are someone who is here local in the area, just stay home, because people don't know how to drive. Even if you're someone from the north that knows how to drive with snow and do all that, stay home because 90% of the people on the road will have zero clue what they're doing. Okay. Just stay home. It's going to be easier with it all. But Ed says a dusting to 2 inches versus 3 inches that the others. I know last week when there was threats of this potential, my son came running home from school telling me we were expected to have 8 to 10 inches of snow. 8 to 10 inches. Yeah, we're not going to see that. Be careful who you listen to. Just really do it. It's going to be much better in the long run. But anyway, enough about weather, enough about snow. Let's talk about real estate. Let's talk about Myrtle Beach. Let's talk about moving to this area and what I can do to help make it easier for you. And before we do that, we're going to check it out. Put your comments over right now. Tell me what you want to know, what you'd like to learn more about, and we are going to answer those questions tonight. And while you're typing those things in, let's go ahead and look. Cindy says, SC Dot put that stuff on the overpass a couple weeks ago, but there wasn't any snow then. Maybe there will be tomorrow night. Cindy, I would think we're going to see a little bit of it. I don't know how much. The problem is that we don't have the proper equipment to remove any that might fall. So it might stay around through Wednesday afternoon. But my guess is that as we get farther into the week and we get back to some warmer temperatures, Thursday, Friday, we're supposed to get up into the 40s again. Anything that might show up should hopefully be melted away by then. Main roads will probably be cleared up before no time because today it was up, mid 50s and 60s in temperature yesterday. And even some of today was still in the mid 40s and 50s. So it's not been cold enough for it to really stick and stay for a long time. All right. Mark has a question here. Let's check this out. Mark wants to know, how does an HOA compare to the bonds placed on developments in Florida? Are they similar, or who actually pays for the developments in South Carolina? Is it built into the house price? So let's talk about this a little bit here, Mark. And I'm going to bring this back over to the screen so that I can see the question and look at the camera. So HOAs here in South Carolina are usually set up by the developer builder when they're starting a neighborhood. They determine what's going to be accepted, what's not going to be acceptable, whether there's going to be amenities there, what's going to be included, whether you can do long-term or short-term rentals, all that kind of stuff ahead of time. When they start the development, the builder is usually in charge and runs the HOA. As they get close to finishing out the development, the builder then turns over the HOA to the homeowners in the development. They hire a management company who manages everything for you, and you move on. For example, in my development that I live in, the HOA is $100 a month. It covers use of 2 community pools, the community basketball court, the fitness center, the clubhouse that you can rent out, weekly trash pickup, basic cable, and high-speed internet. Pretty good deal for $100 a month. Some of the other developments in the area don't have a pool or those types of things, but they want to make sure that there's a certain level or standard in that development. And so with that being the case, they will set one up where maybe the monthly fee is only $45 or $55 a month. That $45 to $55 a month is going to give you, maybe weekly trash pickup, street lights, the entrance sign and lights for that, and common area maintenance. So it's not a real high fee each month, but each person pays it. You get weekly pickup of trash then for you and everything in it. The reason, though, that a homeowners association is formed, and the reason that builder sets that, is that they can keep the value of their product up. Someone who buys a home in the first section doesn't do anything with their exterior, doesn't maintain it, doesn't cut the grass, lets a car be parked in the front yard, runs a construction company and has scaffolding leaning up against the side of the house. All that kind of stuff destroys their value, and people who are coming into the neighborhood then don't want to buy it as much because it's not as pretty. So if they have it set that here's what everybody's going to have the same color mailbox, everybody has to kind of pick from this palette of colors for the homes. They're going to have the same color roofs, that kind of stuff. Yes, it makes it that the houses are not quite as personalized, but it does help to keep a certain standard of living in that development that all the homes need to meet, and therefore help to keep the value up on it. Hopefully that answers your question a little bit. in Florida, and I'm not super familiar because I don't live there and I've never sold down there or anything. But in a lot of your Florida developments, their HOAs are going to be higher because a lot of times they have land maintenance, yard maintenance included in it. A lot of our single family home developments in our area do not include the cutting of your grass. So you still have to have the mower and get out there and do it or hire a mowing service. Guy who comes and cuts my yard, it's like 40, $50 a week for him to do it. In and out in 25, 30 minutes. On to the next one. It's professionally done, looks good. I don't have to worry about it. Partially because I don't have time. I'm busy selling houses. And also I have a little bit of an allergy to freshly cut grass. So I want to be able to function the next day for work. So down in Florida, a lot of times they have that. Where the HOA stuff starts to get real crazy and wild is when you go into your high-rise buildings and the condominium buildings where insurance is included in the monthly fee or isn't included and you have to shop it then every year. A lot of those places are going to have their monthly fees be ridiculously high. I have a client that bought a place in an oceanfront building. Their monthly fees are like $700-800 a month, and then they just renewed the insurance for last year. It was $8,500 special assessment on top of the monthly fees for just insurance. So hopefully that answers your question. Jeff wants to know, are there any new construction communities in Surfside or Garden City? Good question, Jeff. Let's go over here and let's jump into, right here, I've got it open. Let's jump into our our MLS and see what's available. So we're going to click in here to Paragon, which is the name of it. And you want to know about the Surfside Garden City area. So we're going to go here, hit search. Residential, say we want to see active listings, and we want to have detached properties. And then for the construction status, we're going to put in that we want never occupied, we want to have to be built and under construction. And we're going to hit save. And so we have that. Now we're just going to go in here. We're going to put in the city of Surfside. And you also said Garden City. So as of right now, in both Surfside and Garden City, there are a total of 17 houses for sale. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you to see. So you'll see right here, 17 houses for sale. So if we click in here and look at the list, these are all going to be in Surfside Beach. The first ones are in a development called Ocean Palms. This is being built by the Beverly Group. Or that's the listing agent, I should say, is the Beverly Group. And let's take a look at one of these houses. Here's some pictures of it. So here's the inside. I believe this is Beverly Homes. Kind of looks like one of their models. Yep, this definitely looks like one of their models. So this is called Ocean Palms. It's a single family home. This one's $365,000. And they go from there up to, if you want to buy a brand new house on the, or near the beach, on it, basically, you can get this one for $1.65 million for a 7-bedroom, 7.5 bath. Here's another one for $925. And they're going to start to come down in price here a little bit. This one's built by Ameribuilt Homes. And then this is Belmond, which is also Ameribuilt. And then this is back to Ocean Palms. So it looks like there are 2 developments right now down in the Surfside city limits that would fit in that Surfside Beach area location. All right, let's see what other questions we have. Jeff wants to know. Oh, I answered that one already. He goes, we have a condo in Florida that we're trying to sell. HOA fees are crazy. but so are the amenities. Also a gated community. Yeah, so here in the Myrtle Beach area, let me close this off so you can see my face. Um, Here in the Myrtle Beach area, we don't have a ton of stuff that's going to be gated communities. If you have it gated, then that's another expense that you have to deal with every month for the electricity to open and close the gate, or somebody to work the guard gate, or just the money to have for monthly maintenance and routine maintenance on it to keep it running. There's always that person who doesn't see it and backs into it or runs into it and damages it, and then you got to spend a whole bunch of money to get it fixed and repaired. So we don't have a ton of stuff that's gated. There are definitely some throughout the area. In Carolina Forest, I right off the bat, ones that are close by my office that come to mind are your custom home communities. There's three or four of them all right in a row down River Oaks Drive that are all gated type of things. And all of those developments also have some really great communities, amenities with community pools, tennis courts or pickleball courts, basketball, that kind of stuff going on in it. So hopefully that answers your question. If you have more, let me know. Feel free to ask them. Or if it's something specific you want to know, you can always go and shoot me an email to info@jeremyblanton.com, or go over to my website, jeremyblanton.com, and you can book that 30-minute call. All right, let's see here. Mark wants to know, if you were buying a new house and it wasn't finished yet, have you run into any builders willing to paint it in a color that they might not normally offer if it was purchased by the buyer? No. The builders are going to paint it the basic colors. They're not going to do it. If you wanted to have it painted specific colors or change all that stuff, you'd have to do it after the fact. None of them are going to let you do that unless you go and you buy a custom home. If we were to purchase a custom built home that hasn't had the paint already ordered, then you might be able to get away with it. But a lot of times they're all going to be just a neutral color. Horton uses, I think it's called frosty white, or no, maybe that might be Beverly Homes that does it. A lot of them use frosty white or city white or linen white or some sort of white or off-white paint. Some of them will use a light gray or like an agreeable gray, that kind of color in it. But most of them, it's unfortunately going to be white. However, I do have a really good painter that you can always have come in right after closing and paint it to whatever colors that you would like on the inside. So hopefully that answers your question on that. So what other questions do you all have for me this evening? Put them in the chat. Let's discuss them. And, we'll see what I can do to answer those questions. While you're typing them, let me show you a couple things that I've got going on, a couple exciting things to check out. First off, we've talked about this in the past, and I'll show it again. But over here on the YouTube, we have the Myrtle Beach Shorts channel, where there is a ton of new content starting to show up on a regular basis. My assistant and I have been working on this stuff a bunch lately, getting new content to come out for you guys to check out. In addition, since it is back, I will now actually talk about it a little bit. But if you are someone who is on TikTok, I know I'm not a big tick whatever person, but some of you might be. I have a TikTok channel. Here's where it is. I'll put the link in the comments so y'all can just click on it. Don't click on it now. Don't click on it now, because if so, you'll leave here and we won't see you again. But there is the TikTok channel where you can go and check it out. There's a lot of really good stuff in here. We have a couple that have done really well. Here's one that has over 20,000 views. My assistant. I clicked the wrong button. Oh. You kind of see talking about some activities and things to do here in the Myrtle Beach area, things to check out, all that kind of stuff. So there's all kinds of awesome things on this channel that you can go and take a look at and see what's going on. Um, if you're on TikTok, go ahead and subscribe to it. Oh, what happened to I guess with I guess with my profile photo disappeared. I guess with YouTube, or there it is. Okay, I was about to say, what happened? Did TikTok lose it when it did its thing? I guess not. Okay, good. So go over and check that out as well. There's a ton of good information on there too. So anyway, what questions do y'all have for me tonight? What are things that I can answer for you? One of the things that I want to talk about a minute while you're typing those questions out is for some of you that are watching tonight, you might be thinking Myrtle Beach is the place you want to go. And I want to kind of go through what I feel is the best process for moving to the area, especially if you're not really, really familiar with South Carolina or Myrtle Beach or Horry County or this area, or even if you're someone who is fairly familiar with it, but has never actually considered moving here. You come on vacation and you're a vacation expert of Myrtle Beach, but not living here. And what I want to talk about is that when you're starting the process of making the move to the area, the first step in this process is to kind of plan a trip, come check out the locations and figure out what section of Myrtle Beach do you want to call home. Is that you want to live up on the northern end of the beach in North Myrtle Beach or Longs? Do you want to live down on the southern end of the beach? Do you want to be in Murrells Inlet? Do you want to be in, Pawleys Island? Do I want to be in maybe, I don't know, Conway? Or should I move to Carolina Forest or Longs, or what spots are going to be the best place for me to call home? Okay. And you want to kind of come and do this as your first step, not wait until um, after you've found houses and then go, well, now that I got the house, I'm going to go look at the house. And if I like the house, then I'll check out the area. That's kind of putting the horse in front of the cart in front of the horse. So we want to make sure that we're picking a place that you want to be and that you want to call home. That way you're getting into a place that is one you like, you love, and want to call your property to live. Okay. Um, I see too many times people call me and say, "Oh, well, I've got these appointments set up with these builders, and I want to see houses. I want to see houses. I want to see houses." I'm like, "Well, which section of the beach do you want to live in?" I don't know. Well, we need to kind of know that first before we worry about the house. The house is an easy thing to find, so we want to make sure that we check that out first. Okay. So, all right, let's see here. Another question came in here. Let's see what this says. I believe that you said that the federal flood designation of AE is the best, but while looking online, some listings have grades 1 to 10. How do they compare? No, AE is not the one we want. AE is actually the one you don't want. What you want is flood zone X. Flood zone X is not going to require you to have flood insurance for your mortgage. You can get it with a home without it. Now, we still recommend getting flood insurance. It's not that expensive on something in a flood zone X, and it does give you a good peace of mind to have that extra security. Versus AE, they're going to require it, and it's going to get fairly expensive. This is going to be stuff that's down by the ocean or along some of the creeks or rivers or in some of the lower lying sections of the beach. One of the things that I've said in the past, and I'll say it again now, is that all of Horry County is in some sort of a flood zone. You're either going to be in AE or X for just about all of it. So don't freak out when they go, "Oh, you're in a flood zone." It's also one of the reasons why it's really important to have a local insurance agent as well as a local lender and an agent who lives here in town helping you throughout the transaction process to make sure all of these things are in place and that you have people who know how to handle it doing the work for you. So, all right, let's see here. Oh, look, my wife showed up. So it's winter time. Does Myrtle Beach shut down during the off season like it used to, or is there a whole bunch of road construction and renovations I need to avoid during the off season? Yeah, she's talking about when she first moved to the area. Myrtle Beach back in the 90s and mid or early 2000s. And when we get to wintertime, they would shut down a lot of the restaurants and shopping stuff would shut down for 2-3 months and give their employees time off. And they didn't know what to do during that time because they didn't have hardly any coming into the buildings. And so it was costing more to keep them open than just shutting down. However, now Myrtle Beach has basically become a year-round destination. It's not quite as crazy right now at this time of year. If we want to go to any of the big touristy type restaurants, this is probably the time of year to go and do it when you have the least amount of people in town. Some of the bigger roads, they do sometimes do the construction on them during this time of year just because there's less traffic on than during the peak of summer season. So, good question. Thank you, honey, for asking that. All right. I want to give you all a sneak peek of what's coming. If I can figure out how to do this, I want to do it so that you can hear it. So, give me just a minute while I get this. I'm going to stop the presentation. And then I'm going to go to share screen. And I'm going to go to this Chrome tab and also share the audio. All right. And I'm going to hide me. So we're going to go to this view. All right. So take a look at this video. Tell me what you think. This is a video that I will be launching probably tomorrow. And we're going to skip in here a little bit so you guys can see. But this is on the hottest spots to check out in Myrtle Beach here in 2025. And if you have a question while this is running, type it in the chat and we'll answer it then afterwards. But check this out. Oops, I got to turn the on. It comes down to just a few things. Number one, the weather. Our weather here is pretty awesome. We don't have the extreme heat like Florida, but we also don't have the extreme cold like the Northeast. Right now, a lot of my friends up in the Northeast, they're looking for their shovels to plow and dig out from the snow that's coming, and the snow that you're paying property taxes right now that are $1,200 to $1,500 a month in property taxes. You can move down here, buy a very nice $300,000 to $400,000 home, large, spacious yard, all the stuff that you'd want, and have your property taxes be around $1,500 to $2,000 for an entire year if you make it your primary residence. So people are moving here because it's just more affordable. And then, of course, the third reason why people are wanting to come here, the reason why a lot of people want to move to the area is the beach. Yeah, Myrtle Beach has over 65 miles.
I've been an agent almost 9 years now, and I'm with Navigate Realty. To be honest with you, I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I do. I came here because I need
of sand along the coastline that you can go and enjoy almost year round. My wife was down at the beach the other day. Yes, it was a little cooler here in our area, temperatures in the 40s, but she was still down there digging up, finding shark's teeth along the ocean as she walked along the beach. So people go year round to the ocean. So these are just some of the reasons why people are saying Myrtle Beach is a place I want to move. All right, so let's get into this and let's talk about these 5 locations. And the first one on our list today that I want to talk about is Murrells Inlet. Murrells Inlet is down on the southern end of the beach. It is between basically Surfside and going into Pawleys Island area, Litchfield area of the beach. Murrells Inlet is a great spot where many people like to live. You have some very peaceful, off the beaten path neighborhoods and communities where you can find a great property to move to. I was down there the other day visiting a new home development community. Homes were about 2,500 to 3,000 square feet, and those prices were in the low to mid 4s for those properties. You have the ocean just a couple minutes away. You have the inlet nearby as well. People love being close to that to go down to the restaurants down on the inlet. They love being able to walk along the marsh walk, to go eat fresh seafood right out of some of these restaurants, and just so many other things. You also have right nearby Brook Green Gardens. You have Atalaya Castle, Huntington State Park. There's so many amazing things to do down on the southern end of the beach. And for some people, that's what they love to call home. Now, one of the things I should say is this, as I'm talking about these different areas today. Some of you that are watching and go, well, Jeremy, I want to move there based on just what you heard in this video, but you've never actually visited the area. Let me pause it there, Mike, because I'm just repeating what I said just a few minutes ago here in the video. And we're going to fast forward a little bit here. Let's go on. let's see where we're at. Beach in Horry County, that is the northernmost spot, right up basically butting to the North Carolina border. But there are some people who absolutely just love living up on the northern end of the beach. Up in this area, there's going to be a lot of great spots. We have the condos, we have single family homes, new construction, large developments, small developments, a little bit of everything that you might be. All right, we'll just pause it because you all get bored if you just want to watch me over and over, and we'll just talk about it. So this video is going to be launching probably in the next day or two, just talking about some of the hottest spots here in Myrtle Beach to move in 2025. We talk about the 5 areas of the beach that are going to be the hottest spots, I think. We talk about some of the different developments. We talk about locations, pros and cons to that, and all that kind of good stuff. So keep an eye out on that. Probably maybe tomorrow I will launch it out. If not, probably in the next day or two, depending on if the weather does kind of shift and get us stuck at home. So what questions do you guys have tonight that I can answer for you? What are things you want to know about moving to the area, living here, things that you could do and want to know? Thanks, Josh. Thank you, the goat. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got distracted. What questions do you guys have about moving to the area that I could answer tonight? Things that you want to know about living here. I can tell you this much. The weather that we're seeing right now is not common. The last time that we saw something like this was 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. So, snow that's going to actually stay around for more than 12 hours once every 10 years. I think I can deal with that, and I think I can live with that. Now, some of you may say, I don't want any snow at all, and I get it if you say that. So you have that option, if that's what you say, to go south. You can go down to Florida. Just know you won't have 4 seasons of living. You only have 2, hot and hotter. Here in Myrtle Beach, we still do at least have 4 seasons throughout the year, where we have a nice fall, a nice spring, summer, and winter time. Things are going to be great with that. So maybe you say, I'll deal with a little bit of snow once in a while to not have to deal with that. So anyway, what questions can I answer for you guys this evening that you want to know about living here in the area? Let's go here and check a minute, check something. I know somebody was asking a few minutes ago about new construction. And so I wanted to pull up. Here we go. There it is. Give me a moment. Not knowing what questions y'all might ask ahead of time makes this a little tricky at times. So give me just a second here while I open this up. I'm going to make this a little bit larger so you can see. And we'll go here and present, share screen, share entire screen. All right, so people were asking earlier about new construction. This, my friends, is the list from D.R. Horton. This is the most recent release list that they send out. In that video that I was showing you a little bit about coming out in the next few days, one of the developments that I was talking about is called Auberon Woods. To show you where that is, let me pull up my map here a minute. And we'll type it in here. All right, and just so you can see, we'll zoom the map in here. So you can see Auberon Woods looks like it's kind of sitting out in the middle of nowhere, right? Well, this is actually right off of Highway 90 here. And from Highway 90, you can be over to 22 in exactly 1 mile. And get on 22, be all the way down here and over in Briarcliff and Barefoot Landing area in about a 15-minute drive, because 22 is a quick jaunt over here to 17 and boom. Or you can go, 10, not even 10 minutes and be on 31 and then head all the way north or south to wherever you may want to go. But right now, in the click the right button, in Auberon Woods, you can find some pretty nice homes that are being built that are out there. This one, which just sold, was a 2,200 heated square foot home with a 3-car garage all on one level for under $400,000. They don't build a whole bunch of these trifectas, so the minute that they do, they usually sell pretty quick. The one right underneath it is a 2,000 square foot home with 4 bedrooms, 2 baths for $372,000. This same home, this Litchfield, okay, if we take it from out here at Auburn Woods and we were to move it to right over here where they don't sell them anymore because they've all sold out, right here into the parks at Carolina Forest, this house goes from being in the 370s asking to well over $420,000 for the exact same home. So when I mentioned that the dirt and location matters for the price, it does play a huge role in it. You'll see here on the list another home. This one's a little bit on the higher end price at $436,000, but this is a Tillman, which is a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath house for $436,000, and that's the asking price. So we can negotiate that down, save you a little bit of money, get you some upgrades thrown in, and other incentives. So definitely, some stuff to check out. All right, let's see. We got a question here. Let's go check this out. Josh wants to know, is Longs becoming a super popular area? Why? So, okay, good question. Well, I think before we answer that, we should probably first show everybody where the heck is Longs, South Carolina. And so if we were to come up here to the northern end of the beach, taking 31 right here up to the northern end, you're basically right here in Longs, South Carolina, and it runs out a pretty good distance out to here. And so Longs is kind of like the Carolina Forest of the northern end of the beach. It's an area that has a lot of undeveloped communities right now and just kind of raw dirt in a lot of the spots. So there's a lot to be built over the next several years. And I think what you're going to see is that now that over here along the beach, Cherry Grove, North Myrtle, and Little River is all pretty well getting finished up, people are starting to push a little bit farther out to the west to here, and you're able to find homes for a fairly affordable price. So, for example, I sold a home last year right about here. It's right about there on the map. If I put a dot right there, right about there, it's sold. We sold it for well under $300,000. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with about 1,800 heated square feet. So you can find really good deals on those homes. We take that same home from here and we're to move it even just over here to Little River and drop it about right there, where that's right around where Heather Glen sits, which is a big development by the same builder. That house goes from 280, 290 up to probably 340. Take that same house from there, bring it down here to the Carolina Forest area, drop it in the parks right about there, and it's going to go up to 350 to 370. So you can see, once again, the dirt is a lot more affordable up here in Longs, South Carolina right now. And because of that, more and more people are picking that area to move. So, all right, good question. Let's see, what else do we have here? Go back to this. And let's see here. Jeff wants to know, looks like they are clearing a huge tract of land on River Oaks Drive. Any idea what's going to be? Also, getting in and out of communities along River Oaks is difficult with all the traffic. So, yes, I do know what it's going to be. It is going to be a development. I'm pretty certain that it's going to be D.R. Horton that is going to be building there. Probably going to be coming out of the ground with houses probably in the next 2 months, I'd say at least. You'll see some framing starting to come up. I'm pretty certain it's a D.R. Horton that's going in there, from talking to a few insiders there at the company. Yes, the road is kind of hectic at times. Yes, there's a lot of traffic, but the road is going to be widened over the next few years. I'm fairly certain that will happen as well. It will be like Carolina Forest Boulevard, 45 miles an hour, probably all the way through there with 5 lanes, 2 on each side and a center turn lane. If there would just be a center turn lane at every development, it would make things a lot less crazy right now. And probably when that happens, you'll see another traffic light or two go up also. All right, let's see. Bisque and Pearl. Hi, Bisque and Pearl. Maybe that's the name of the cats. I hope that I'm going to call this one, the one on the left, Bisque, and the one on the right, Pearl. All right. Are there any new houses for $250K? Thinking about Conway. Good question. Let's go look. I could guess the answer, but I'd rather just show you what is out there. So we can come back in here. We can take this out because we already have new construction in the settings. I'm going to say Conway. And we're going to say, well, there might be room for negotiating. So let's say 265,000. So there are 20 current for sale that are under 265. Let's take a look at them. So this one right here is with Starlight Homes in a development called Planters Field. It's under 200,000. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a little on the smaller side, only 1,100 heated square feet. But with the 2-car garage, you're close to 1,600. And we'll take a look at the inside of it. They have a couple photos. There's your living and kitchen. Granite counters, at least. And there's your master. Washer and dryer. And so there's one for you. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for under 200 even. The next one does not have a garage. It's 3-bedroom, 2 baths with 1,200 heated square feet. Then from there, there's a couple of those. Here's one that is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,250 for 240,000. Another one for 242. This one has a 1-car garage for 249. 249. Then we have this one, which is a D.R. Horton for 249 that we could get for a good deal. This one is another one with Planters Field. This is Starlight Homes. So yes, there's definitely some options that are out there, Bisque and Pearl, that are potentials for you in that 250,000. If you want to learn a little bit more about them, shoot me an email to info@jeremyblanton.com. You'll see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen here in a couple minutes. Or just go to jeremyblanton.com and you can book a 30-minute call and we can really dive deeper into what you're looking for in a home and see if any of those would be an actual good fit for you. All right, let's see. What other questions do we have here? What builders and what are the types of homes that are available around the area and where the Trader Joe's is going? Do you know when the Trader Joe's is set to open? No, honey, I don't know when it's open. I drove by it today. It's got the walls up. The exterior concrete cinder walls were up. I saw them. And actually, I know the gentleman who's building it. My guess is probably in the next 6 months, it'll probably be ready to open. It's for those of you that are watching and don't know what we're talking about or where it may be. Let me quick pull up my map and I'll show you where it's going to be. It's going to be down here in the southern end of the beach, right down here. Oops, went too far. Right in here by the Target. It's going to be sitting, I think, right about here is where it's going to be. Or actually, I think it's right about there. Yeah, right about there is where the Target, where the Trader Joe's is going to be sitting. So with that coming out of the ground, what are available in that area? So there's a lot of development that's going on back through here in Saybrook, and you can see Saybrook right through here. You have Celine at Saybrook. You've got Toll Brothers back in here, Pulte's building back in here, and this is all growing up through here. And all of this section through here will grow up over time with homes here in the Saybrook area. If you're thinking about moving this way and want to be close to Trader Joe's or down close to Surfside, definitely some stuff to check out. Some really, really cool homes. If we go in here and let's just go back into here, take this out, and we'll put in here Saybrook. And we're going to take out those and take out that. You can see here's some stuff that is coming out of the ground that you can check out as well. Some really cool looking houses they're building back in here. A little bit on the pricier side for sure, but you are a few miles from the beach. Wow, that's a big house. That's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath house being built by Toll Brothers. 3,400 heated square feet for $679. So big house. All right. Let's see here. Seems like a lot of developers just flatten everything. Are there still new developments that leave outside boundaries with vegetation? So not really. They might leave it around the exterior part of it, but for most of the developers, it's easier to just go in, clear everything out, put the elevation the way they need to. That way they can put in the retention ponds where they need to be to keep flooding from happening. And it's more affordable to just rip everything out, sell off the little bit of older vegetation trees that are there that honestly you don't want. You don't want the big pine trees right by your house. They're a little bit more of a threat during hurricane season for being brittle, breaking off, ending up in your roof. So they go in, clear it out, and then usually as part of the landscape package that they put in, you're going to get some sort of a tree, usually in your front yard or backyard for the house. Unfortunately, they do that. Now, if you go and you were to purchase in a development where you're buying a custom home and you're buying just the dirt, a lot of times those still have a lot of the mature vegetation on it. And then in those situations, you can just take out the trees that need to be removed to put a house in. All right, let's see here. Biscuit Pearl says, thank you. I'm interested. Awesome. Well, reach out to me, info@jeremyblanton.com or jeremyblanton.com. And just to show everybody how easy that is, because I haven't done that yet today, let me go open up here a minute and show you how simple it is to book a call with me. You can go right here to my website, jeremyblanton.com, and you can click a day. So if you want to talk to me on Thursday, you can click right here and you can say, I want to talk to Jeremy at 12:30 on Thursday. I put my name in here, my email. I'm looking to buy or sell. By the way, if you need help selling a house to move here, let me know. I can definitely help with that as well. I have a network of people across the country that I can get you connected with someone to really help make your job go easy. I wish I had Jeff here to kind of tell you what happened to him. But Jeff had a house that he needed to sell up in the Northeast, and he was getting ready to put it on the market. And I said, Jeff, do you want me to find you someone? No, I got somebody. My neighbor's friend's son just got his license, so we're going to put it with him because they've been our family friends for 30 years. And I said, okay. And the guy had it for 6 months, never sold the house. Jeff called me and said, Jeremy, what do I need to sell the house? I said, let me find you someone. I got him a new agent, had it under contract in less than 7 days, and Jeff was able to find a house then and get into a home basically within about 40 days of 40. Well, it was probably about 60 days till everything was said and done, into a house here in Myrtle Beach and quit paying rent. So, all right. Let's see what else we have here. Tony wants to say, hi, Jeremy. What is your opinion on traditions? I really like Chesapeake homes, and I'm looking for 1,900 square feet. 500 price all in. You can definitely do that in traditions. There is some great stuff. And for those who are watching right now and wondering where the heck are we talking about, let me show you on the map here first, and then we'll talk a little bit about what options are there right now. So traditions is going to be right here off of River Oaks Drive, right about here is where it sits. It's a great new development that Chesapeake Homes is building. And so if I go over here into the MLS and I say we want to see up to 500 and we click on the traditions at Carolina Forest, there are 5 options right now of spec homes that are currently available. Here's one that's $419,000, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. 1,932 heated square feet. By the way, I should probably also mention that here in our MLS, we have 2 square footage numbers. We have this one right here first, which is the heated square foot, and then 2523, which is including front porches. which, as you can see, this house, if we were to pull it up, has a little bit of a front porch, also the 2-car garage. And if we go here, this also rear porch would be included in that under roof square footage number. So here is a great option that's available. Here's another one. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,100 heated, 473.9. All in today. You could be in the house and be under it for 475. So, Tony, if you're ready to start really diving deeper into it, let me know. And I have a guy. I'm friends with Mark. I've worked with him before. I also know Jessica. Actually, both of them worked out of my office for a while during the process of their models being built over there in Traditions. So I have good relationships with both of them and can get you information on stuff. I have a house right now that is being built for a client in there. Chesapeake's a pretty good builder to work with. All right. Done. Bisk says, I am done with Indiana weather. I totally get it. Listen, when I lived in Pennsylvania, I was so done with being stuck inside all the time with the gray weather. The gray skies that today I had to go ride for one of my clients down to the southern end of the beach. They purchased a condo a while back, but they're not going to be here for they were going to come today, but with the storm and all, they said, I'm not getting stuck in South Carolina. I have to be back home to work on Wednesday. And so they asked me to run down and turn the heat on in their unit so they don't have any issues during the cold we have the next few days. And just driving down Highway 31 in the gray, dreary skies reminded me why I disliked living in the Northeast. I couldn't do that where my whole winter is that way. We see blue skies here most days of the week. So let's see here. What else is there? How much is house inspection on new construction home approximately in that area? It depends on what the size of the home is. My guess is probably on something in that 1,500 to 1,800 square foot range, probably $400 to $600 would be my guess on something like that. All right. So what other questions do y'all have for me this evening? What questions can I answer for you? Type them in the chat. Let me know. Wow, time is flying. We're already through an hour of being on here tonight. I can't believe that's happened. But what other questions can I answer for you all tonight? Type them in the chat. Let me know. And we'll see what we can do to answer them. If not, I'm probably going to end this here in the next few minutes and head home and enjoy my evening. Get warm before the cold comes through. Yeah, it's coming. I hate to deal with it, but we have to. Let's see here if there's anything else coming in. Okay, don't see anything yet. All right, so while you guys are typing those rest of your questions in, let me go back here. We're going to play a little bit more. I'm going to fast forward a little bit into this. Can anybody play another video, another ad here in my video? Can anybody guess? So my video that I did that I'm going to be publishing in the next day or two is the 5 hottest spots in Myrtle Beach. Can anybody guess what number 1 might be? I wonder if anybody can get it. It might be tough to figure out. I don't know. Well, if you can't guess it, I'll probably have to just save it then and wait for you all to watch the video. No, I'm not. I'm playing with you. Obviously, the number 1 spot I still feel in this area to move is Carolina Forest. I feel that it is just a great location where you can be centrally located to everything. If I were to jump into, let me grab my map here a minute, and we're just going to jump on to Walk Around Jack right here. Oops, I landed in a development. We don't want that. Let's zoom this in here a little bit. Here we go. Oops, we're still in the development. All right, give me a second here. All right. So, share this screen. So, if we were to go driving here down Carolina Forest Boulevard, this is at the northern part of Carolina Forest Boulevard, which right here you have the public shopping center. There's Publix right here. There are some amazing restaurants to eat right in here. There's Full Belly Barbecue. There's River Oaks Pizzeria. There is Flaming Fin, which is probably one of the best Asian spots in town. There's also right here Slim Chickens, which is a new chicken joint in the area. It's kind of like Zaxby's or Raising Cane's that are right here to eat. Now, if we continue to this intersection and we're going to take a left, like we're going, oops, if I can, I'm driving a little erratic here, but I turn left and I'm coming down the road another 2 minutes, and we look here to the right. Back in here sits a Food Lion with Scotto's Pizzeria, another Asian joint. Early Riser Diner is in here, and Scotto's Pizzeria. I don't know if I said that one or not, but Scotto's Pizzeria is in there as well. Now, if we continue going down River Oaks Drive here, we're just driving along the road. It's really not that far, maybe a half a mile up the road. You will see we start to pass by other things. Here's some more shopping stuff with restaurants. Eggs Up Grill, another great breakfast spot. Oak Prime and Kitchen, an amazing high-end spot. Some Jimmy John's, that kind of stuff in there. Come up here a little bit farther. In here, there is a Hungry Howie's, Soli Luna. Come up a little bit more. Get your coffee there at Dunkin'. Come up to the shop, to the stoplight here. There's a Taco Bell. We can then turn right, and we're now on International Drive. And here you're going to have the Zips Car Wash. You got a Bojangles. Over on the left, you have Cookout. Over here's a McDonald's. Here's my office. Come and visit me right here. Let's see. Let me jump in there. We'll have to go this way in. We'll turn in at the light. Come in here, and we have now the Lowe's Food Shopping Center, which in the Lowe's Food Shopping Center, there's Zayton down here on this end. There's Miyabi Jr. here. Peach Cobbler Factory that sits right here. Kung Fu Tea Dragon Pan, which is Chinese takeout. Over here, you have a Tropical Smoothie Cafe. There's a Jersey Mike's. There is down here at the end of the building, J. Peters. But coming back here, right there is my office. Sitting right there. So you can see everything is all right around here within 5 minutes of each other. So there's a lot of stuff to check out. All right, let's see. We have some questions coming in here, I think. So let's go back here. Mark wants to know, what are the developers offering in incentives for financing? Ooh, good question. So depends on where the home is and what process. If it's a spec home that's under construction right now, for example, D.R. Horton, they're offering, I believe, today $7,500 or $8,500 in closing costs. So that's going to help a lot. You're also going to get a buy down on your interest rate, probably down. Let's see here. We'll jump in. Let's go check out. See if they say it on their website. They may not, because they change this stuff all the time. They're usually giving about $7,000 to $8,000 in closing costs. There are also, if you buy a D.R. Horton home, you're able to get we can probably negotiate at least probably $7,000 to $10,000 off the price, and then get in some upgrades like maybe the gutters on the house, window blinds, a porch screened in, all that kind of stuff onto the house as well. There's a lot of incentives that Horton's offering because they're one of the bigger builders that are out there. They usually offer a little bit more than the local. I have someone else who just wrote a contract last week on a Beverly Homes, and it was one that was kind of specced out already ahead of time. They made a few adjustments to it. They got zero incentives on it. Beverly Homes said, we don't need to. We're not going to. You take it at the price we're going to do it. We cut all the fat out already, so there's no room to have any more cut out. So it's kind of a builder-specific thing, Mark, as to what they are or are not offering. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, let's see. We have something else here. Surfside Gunny. Surfside, what's happening? I don't know if he's asking what's for sale in Surfside. He lives in Surfside, or what he's surfsiding, but he's Surfside Gunny, so he can ask whatever he wants about Surfside. Anyway, if nobody else has any questions today, I think I might just end it right about here. If you do, go ahead and okay. Oh, there's something coming in here. Let's see here. If you have more questions, quick, put them in, because we're going to end this here in just a minute. OG wants to know, how about if you're paying cash? To the builders, it really doesn't matter. They don't really care if it's cash or financing. A lot of times, the incentives that they offer are you have to use their lender, which they own the lender. So they're making money there. So cash doesn't really have it. For example, if you were to purchase a D.R. Horton home and pay cash, we might be able to get you $2,000 to $3,000 towards closing costs versus the $7,000 to $8,000 that they would offer with a loan. So their incentives actually get less buying cash. I know it's crazy as it sounds, but it's the way it is, unfortunately. So they might sometimes give you a little bit better deal on the price if it's a builder that we can negotiate a price. But if it's something with a loan, no. Now, where it does come into play is if there's a multiple offer situation on a new release and you're a cash buyer versus someone doing a loan, you're more than likely going to be the one they will pick, because that's a more sure bet that they will be able to get their money at the end of the day versus can the person actually qualify for the loan. So hopefully that answers your question. So, all right, let's see here. What do we have? So once the weather warms up and golf season starts, what is the best neighborhood that has a golf course connected? Ooh, golf courses. Here's my statement on golf courses. Golf courses are amazing. Golf courses are great. But I wouldn't pick a house. And this is me personally. I'm not going to pick a house based solely on living on a golf course or the view that I have out the back because it's on a golf course. Okay. And the reason that I say that, and I'm going to pull it up here and show you, I lived at one point out here. Let me find my way back to it. 1 second while I pull it up on the map, and then I'll show it with y'all. Here it is. All right. So let's now share the map. Okay. So if you notice, this area right through here is green. And then this area through here is green over here, right? Well, when they originally started to build this, there was a lot more that was green. All of this over here used to be green as well. Burning Ridge Golf Course, which sits back here, used to have 2 18-hole golf courses. And we sold a home that sat right over here, right about there. Okay. So let's go jump into walk around mode here a minute and show you. So we sold a home. Let me go down here a little bit more. All right. It was one of these houses right along in here. And the reason that the people bought this home is because it had just the most amazing view of the golf course behind. It was over on this side. There it is. It was this home, I think, right here, this brick home. Okay. We sold it. And the reason the people bought this home is because behind it here was the golf course. And the golf course had the most amazing view of the par 3 with the water on the island green. And they could see everything. And it was so amazing to have. Unfortunately, about 6 months after purchasing the home, the developer owner of the golf course decided they were going to sell some of it off to a developer. And so they sold off 9 of the holes because they found out that 2 18-hole golf courses were not as efficient, were not as profitable as having 3 9-hole courses. So they sold off 9 of the holes. And right behind it, I don't know if we can see it. Let's see if I can get this to... You can see there's now houses right out the back. And if we go back here out of this mode, and come right here and jump, these houses right here step right back to it. The pond that was there is gone. They filled it in. Everything is gone. And now it is simply a development. Oops, I'm not sharing my screen. Oops. So here's what we see now. Backs up to that. Nothing. This is all you see is houses behind it. It's sad how it happened because this house used to have amazing golf course views. And now all it has, oops, if I can go back here. Where is it? Now it just has houses. So I am not a big fan of having the golf course. I'd rather just drive to it and enjoy it that way. So, all right, let's see here. What other questions do we have? Thank you very much again for your help, Jeremy. How far out should I contact you before coming down here? You can contact me whenever. We can start conversations now, even if you're not buying for another year. That way I can kind of help you along the way. We can figure out a good game plan. I talk to people all the time that are ready to buy in the next 3 weeks, 3 years, and everything in between. So I'm here to help however I can. Hey, Mike, what's up? The wife and I will be down the end of February. We are interested in 2 houses, one for us and one for the daughter and son-in-law, looking forward to working with you on our dream home. Awesome, Mike. Listen, reach out to me. I will be gone the last week of February. We have our national conference, and so I will be gone some of those days for sure. That way we can make sure to get everything coordinated. Luckily, I know where you guys want to be for the most part, and we know the development, so shouldn't be too bad even if I'm not here those days for a couple of them. But we will definitely, let's get stuff coordinated now. All right. Okay. Gunny said that was his guesses for best places. Surprisingly, Gunny, it did not make the list. Sorry to say. What is a realistic number of houses viewing in a single day? Planning a trip very soon. Thank you for all you do. My rule of thumb is I won't show you more than 5 houses in a day. You're going to be confused. I try not to go really more than 3 to 4 because everything blends together. And then you're wondering, did that one have the white cabinets or the gray cabinets? Did it have the dark cabinets? Did this one have a good backyard, or was that on the other house? Which one had the screen porch? It all starts to blur together. So I won't show you more than 4 to 5. And honestly, if I'm doing my job right, I should be able to find you something you're really going to like in 4 to 5 houses, where we're not going to need to spend 20 to 30, 2 to 3 days going through 20 to 30 houses to figure out which one's the right one. Kathy says, hi, Jeremy. Can't wait to move down there. Tired of this cold, cold weather. Tonight will be 7 degrees. Ugh, ew, yucky. We're going to get down a little bit below freezing here and see a dusting of snow Tuesday night, but we're not going to get that cold. Mike says it's currently 4 below in Columbus, Ohio. Can't wait to sell the snowblower and move. Yeah, that was one of the fun days when we lived up north, selling the snowblower and shovels and all, as well as all the winter gear. We didn't need it, which is kind of fun when we have these cold snaps like we have right now, which is totally not normal for here. We don't know what to do. We have to put like 7 layers of clothing on because we don't have the heavy, warmer layers of clothes. So like tonight, or today, I should say, I'm wearing, a long sleeve shirt, but underneath it, I've got a t-shirt on to kind of just keep a layer of warmth because we don't have it. And when you live here, you become a wimp with the cold. That's for sure. Let's see here. Raw Food Writer. Hey, Jeremy, do you think a $400,000 budget is enough to buy in North Myrtle Beach? Yeah, we can definitely find stuff in that price point. There's a good amount of options that are going to be out there. I think I might know. Let's see here a minute. Let's go here. Put in 400. Take this out. Share this screen. And so if we go in here and do a search and we say we want to see stuff up on the northern end of the beach, and we're going to just put in here North Myrtle. Oops, I put it in the right spot, doesn't it? We'll just put in the zip code 29582. That's not want to cooperate, so we'll go back up here. North Myrtle. And also Longs. There's 214 properties currently for sale in North Myrtle and Longs under 400,000. So yes, I would confidently say we could find you something. All right, let's see here. John says, hello from Minnesota. It's 17. It's 17 below here right now with a 40 below wind chill. 40 below wind chill? I don't think I know what that's like. I don't. So for my water would be frozen. I wouldn't be able to drink it. What in the world? John, what are you doing there? Let's go. Get over here now. Get away from it. We have a dusting to maybe 2 inches of snow. That's our winter weather coming. And everybody here is freaking out. I can guarantee you if I go to a grocery store, almost all the loaves of bread are sold and almost all the milk's gone off the shelves. Guarantee it. People do crazy stuff here when storms are coming. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining in tonight. Thank you for your questions. If I didn't answer yours tonight, do me a favor, shoot me an email. You'll see it scrolling across the screen right there. It's going right now. info@jeremyblanton.com. Or you can go over, like I said, to jeremyblanton.com. I showed it a little bit earlier in the show. Book a 30-minute call. We can talk about your questions, specifics, and figure out a good game plan to get you moved here to the area. Also, as I mentioned earlier, keep an eye out. I have a video to be coming out in the next day or two. You can definitely want to check it out. There's going to be some really good stuff on the hot spots here in the Myrtle Beach area to check out and keep an eye on for purchasing in 2025. As always, thank you for joining in tonight. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for interacting with me. If not, it'd be really boring me just standing here blabbering on about nothingness. I'd run out of content pretty quick. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, get the bell on. And as I always say at the end of every show, thanks for joining in, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you guys.